All right, and I'll turn it over to Mrs. Pugsley.
All right, thank you, everyone. I can't actually see anybody, but thank you very much. Welcome to our second general membership meeting. Hopefully we'll get through this one a little faster than our first one. We don't have quite a packed an agenda. I think we're gonna start, normally we start with Mr. Harris with your report, but do we have David Lee, our treasurer, on? Because I know he can only be on for a little period of time. So if he's on now, we'll jump to the treasurer report.
David, if you're in the audience, you can unmute yourself. I see a couple folks are guests that don't have a name to their iPhones.
Okay, well, if he's not on now, that's fine. We'll come back to him. So I guess we'll start with you, Mr. Harris.
All right, well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Frost. I just wanted to say that the kids are doing fantastic. The after school program started last week, and we have a lot of kids staying after for the after school program. There's tons of activities. We have clubs ranging from Dungeons and Dragons, lacrosse club, movie club, Model United Nations, coding, chat club, Club Frost, basketball, and the list goes on and on. There's clubs for any and everybody. This is sewing club, Shakespeare club. So all the information for all the different club offerings are on our website. And Mrs. Metzger has been doing a good job of promoting the clubs each and every day. I did send out a lot of information concerning after school program in last Friday's This Week at Frost concerning how to interact with your children for staying for after school. The main thing that we want to explain to everyone is to please communicate with your child about when and for what they're staying after school. Sometimes students will say, hey, mom, I'm gonna stay after school, and you have no idea what they're staying for, who they're staying with. So make sure you have those conversations with them beforehand. There are late buses only on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And so Tuesdays and Friday, if your son or daughter decides to stay after school, they would have to have arranged pickup by you on Tuesdays and Fridays. The late buses on those days should be in parent view. You should be able to see the late bus. Typically, it'll say FILR, and then I'll have the number associated with it. All the students are released to the cafeteria at the end of the after school program. Students can get help on knowing what their late bus is from the main office, and also their club sponsors. And once students go to the cafeteria, the late buses are called throughout. So, the late buses kind of roll in sporadically. So, they can roll in from 4:30 to 5 o'clock. So it's not uncommon for buses to get home as late as 5:30. So, the first week we had some folks calling up and saying, where's the bus? But typically there's a little bit of a window there. We also remind students not to leave Frost property and then come back to try to access the after school program. Sometimes students might go to a friend's house and want to come back, and then that's not allowed, or go to Fair City Mall and come back, that's not allowed. Obviously, if you bring your child back after they came back from an appointment, check them in, that will be okay. But the late buses in the after school program is going pretty smoothly. We do have next week, is it next week? Yeah, the 13th starts our school pictures. We had to have it split up into 2 different weeks because we forgot that we had these block schedules. So typically we only need 1 day. So next week on the 13th will be the first picture day for odd day PE classes. And then the following week on the 18th will be the second option for the even day PE classes. So that information is on your calendar with This Week at Frost. Next Monday is our school planning day. So there's no school for students. And I'm gonna stop there because I know last time I ran over a little bit long. So a lot of the information I'm sharing tonight was also in the This Week at Frost. One of the things I wanted to really, he'll have an opportunity to introduce himself shortly, is we're really excited about having Mr. Hudson join our admin team. He's a fantastic administrator with tons of experience. He's going to be able to come in and seamlessly adapt to our school community. we're really excited about having someone of his expertise and experience here at Frost Middle School. So I can't wait for everybody to meet Mr. Hudson. And that's it for me for the principal report.
All right, so next we've got Megan Count from the Special Education Department. So hopefully you can walk through for parents whose kids are already receiving services. We probably are very well versed in a lot of this, but I know middle school presents new challenges, and so there might be kids who now are struggling for the first time. And we really wanted to make sure that parents knew what services are available at Frost and how they can access those services for their children.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm Meg Counts. I'm thrilled to be here. This is my 22nd year in education, and most of that time has been spent in special education teaching. So I'm excited to be here, and this is just going to be a real global overview of special education in Fairfax County, and then specifically at Frost. So we'll start with what is special education, and it is specially designed instruction to meet the needs of students with a disability. And I'll just share that in the school system, we don't provide a medical diagnosis of any sort, but we do look at the characteristics of our learners and look for areas of suspected disability. And we use a criteria system that is different from what a doctor might use or a specialist might use, but it's an educational based criteria that looks at the impact of those learning characteristics on the student's ability to make progress in the curriculum. So naturally, as teachers and educators, we are always looking at data of our learners, and we have our multi-tiered systems of support. And this is a process by which our collaborative teams look at data trends across grade levels, across subjects, across common assessments to help suss out what students might be struggling for the first time, might be struggling in an isolated area, or might be struggling across the board. And within that system, we look at how we can provide support. So right now, coming out of a pandemic, we recognize that learners today are going to have different challenges than they might have had 3 years ago. They might be in a different place. They might have different social, emotional, or school readiness challenges that impact their learning. We don't want to jump to saying that they require special education or that it's a disability. It could be a number of factors impacting that learner. And so we use the MTSS process to look at those students who might be struggling or having a hard time, provide some intervention, see if that intervention is having an impact before we jump to the special education process. If we see that over time that student is not making the expected progress and we've put supports in place, then we look at the special ed process. And really, when I say process, it is a process. There are lots of layers to it. And it's a real team approach. Parents are a part of that team every step of the way. And as the parent, you are the expert and advocate for your child. So we welcome your input and your expertise on your child's learning. You hold their history. And so that's what you bring to the table. But really it starts with a referral. It's called a multi-purpose referral. You don't need the actual paper form to make that referral. You can reach out to your child's student or counselor and say, hey, I'm really concerned about what's happening at school, they're learning, or I suspect there might be something underlying that's impacting. And then you're invited to join what's called the local screening committee. And that's that school team that's made up of teachers and specialists to include our social worker and our school psychologist, oftentimes a counselor, to really discuss what's going on, what concerns there are, what the students' strengths are, what their needs are. And that team together with the parent makes a determination as to whether or not we need more information. And information means evaluations and assessments that we can gather to help us make a determination as to whether or not that student is eligible, that eligibility bubble, in a disability category. Fairfax County has 14 areas of special education eligibility. Some of them are probably more familiar, learning disabilities, and some are less familiar and less prevalent in our population, but there are 14 areas by which a student could be eligible, and sometimes it's multiple areas of eligibility. So we look at the criteria for each of those, and of course we look at the impact on the students' learning here at school. If a student is eligible for special education, the parent then joins another team to develop what's called the IEP, the Individual Educational Plan. And that really spells out that child's plan, what goals, what strengths, what needs, what goals they're working on, and then how we're going to provide services to make progress toward those goals. And parents are a part of that process every step of the way. So then thinking about the services at Frost, what does special education look like when we're boots on the ground? You know, we have our general ed classes across the board in subject areas. And then in the core content areas, we also have what's called team taught classes, which are classes that are standard of learning curriculum. They have a gen ed teacher and a special education teacher supporting all of the students in that class. So it's just more staff to support student learning and provide support for accommodations when needed. And then we also have what's called self-contained classes. And those classes tend to be smaller in number. Those are all students who receive special education services and they're taught by a special ed teacher. They are also working on SOL curriculum, but the pace might be a little bit different and the curriculum might be modified, but it's still going to be SOL level curriculum. We also have specialized programs here at Frost. We have our Category B program, Cat B program, which is lower incidence disabilities. So students who need that structured, more smaller environment. We have our comprehensive service site, which draws students from other schools who need some work towards social emotional goals. And then we have our deaf and hard of hearing program here that has been a hallmark of Frost for a long time. Some electives that Frost has for special education is the personal development elective, which is for students who are working on some social, emotional, or behavioral goals to help them develop their personal strengths in those areas, as well as strategies for success, which could be for students who require special education and also for gen ed students who just need to work on organizational skills and developing their readiness to learn and be organized and study. So lots of students could use that. And then we have our peer helping class that Frost is very proud of. And this is a class that develops leadership skills in gen ed students to work with some of our special populations and support our Frost Unified program in Special Olympics. And just overall, I'm new to Frost, but it is, from what I have observed and felt and been a part of, a very inclusive environment where the staff very much feels that these are all our kids and they are invested in all of their success. And so that is our goal here.
We're super excited to have Ms. Counts as part of our team here at Frost Middle School. As you can tell, she's a wealth of knowledge and a definite resource for all students here at Frost Middle School.
Thank you.
All right, can we have Mr. Hudson?
Oh, let's see. Mr. Hudson, are you there?
I'm trying. Can you see me?
Oh, let's see. Oh, he's here, but I can't hear him. Let's see if I can figure out why.
Can you hear me
One second,
now?
Mr. Hudson. Let me see if I can turn this on. Let's see if I can go around. This is not my classroom, so I wonder if the speaker, I need to put the speaker on or something like that. 1 second, Mr. Hudson. Let me see.
No worries. I mean, I'm coming from my car.
How about now?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Well, I'm never a quiet person, so that's a good thing. So I apologize that I'm having to meet you this way. I live in Loudoun County and we have no power, so I'm sitting in my car. So I hope you can see me. But as an administrator and coming to Frost, you just take what's kind of given to you and you make the best out of it. So that's where we are. So nice to meet with you this evening. My name is Phil Hudson. So I'm the new assistant principal at Frost, and it's a pleasure. I've been there for 2 days, and it's been a great experience so far. So this is my 24th year in Fairfax County Public Schools, and I started off at Germantown Elementary, which was part of the renovation through to Providence. And then I was at Rachel Carson Middle School and Stone Middle School before coming here. But the Frost community and the Woods community is something. My wife was a Spanish teacher at Woodson for years, and then started her first administrative career there as well. So this is something that working within the community and going to games and things like that with my wife has been something I've been a part of. And so it's just great to be able to see your students in the building and work with them so far. And if you need anything, just make sure you reach out to me.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson. And thank you for joining us in your car. I appreciate that commitment. That's a commitment there.
I told you, Mr. Harris, if there's a way, I'm going to find it out. I mean, I'm out here. It's better than having to do bath time with my lantern. So I'm getting the better end of the deal.
Well, I can tell you he's already been a wealth of knowledge. Today we had a meeting with our design and construction team, and he jumped right in. It's like, hey, what about this? What about that? So I was like, yes. So thank you, Mr. Hudson. I appreciate you.
No worries. I appreciate you all, and it's great to meet with you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So then that brings us to the president's report. I was actually going to start with membership. I don't know if we have Christy on the line. If she's on, she can report. Otherwise, I will report.
Christy, if you're there, I don't see it.
Okay, well, then I will report.
All right.
To date, we have approximately 170 members with the PTA, which is great. We still are off of our budget. So for those of you online, if you have not joined the PTA, please do so. The link or the site is listed right there on the agenda. If you've already joined, please encourage your friends to. Joining the PTA does not put you on the hook to volunteer for anything. We'll talk about volunteers in a few minutes, but we really could use your support and greatly appreciate everyone who has joined so far. Speaking of volunteers, thank you so much to our new committee chairs. So we now have a reflections chair that is Patty Pullen. And Patty had actually run reflections at Canterbury Woods for a few years, which comes with some experience. If you're interested in helping with reflections, you can reach out to Patty, and I believe her information either soon will be on our website or is on the website. Okay, Pam already put it on the website. We don't waste time. If you say we're gonna do something, we put it on the website. We make it official.
Yes.
For readathon, we have Julie Mindy, who's actually here today. So thank you so much. And then for bingo night, we have Gloria Totten. So again, they're all on the website. If you want to help with any of those events, please reach out to them. We still do not have a chair for the special education committee. So if anyone's interested in doing that, please feel free to reach out to me. There's also, we had sent around a sign up genius for people to volunteer to help with the vision and hearing screenings that are happening the week of, I guess it's October 19th and 20th during PE. So we've had a lot of people sign up already. So thank you so much for everyone who signed up for slots. If you are available during the day and can go check out the sign up genius, please do so, because that'll really help make that process go a lot quicker. And I think like coffee and bagels and possibly lunch are being provided.
All right.
So you will be fed. You're just looking for food and to hang out somewhere for the day. And then one of the things that's been popular in the past is, as a fundraiser, is family photo sessions. So if you are a photographer and would like to, do a family photo session to help benefit Frost, please reach out to me, and we will get the particulars of how it's run in the past. But it's usually a very successful program. So 'tis the season, and just let me know. So that is the president's report. And then I did get a text from David. He wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it. So we've got the treasurer's report, and I don't know if you can pull that up for us. Oh, do I use go?
Let's see here.
It's got a lot of like numbers on it. Very mappy. Not quite sure the importance of most of these numbers, but Mr. Harris can pull that up, and I'll just give everyone like 2 minutes to read it.
Let's see if I can actually get it up here.
Should be one of those Word documents. Yeah, it's that one. I
This
think.
one?
Yeah. It doesn't want to
Yeah,
open. Yeah, of course that's.
There it is. Come on. Come on. Open sesame.
All right, it doesn't want to.
All right, let me see if I can figure out how to get it onto the screen.
Okay, we're working on that.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
All right, in the meantime, I think the bottom line here is we've earned $1 of interest on our savings account. Now the total is $8,030.76. And our checking balance at the end of September is $14,746.63. We paid some bills, we've had some memberships come in. And then the other big thing is we signed the audit. I think we have to vote to approve the audit findings, but people here are shaking their heads. So, okay. So
Have you signed off on it?
I signed off on the audit since the last meeting. And so can we get a motion to approve the audit report? Do we got a second? Okay. So if you are a member of the, you need to be a member of the PTA to vote. So, you know, if you were on the fence about joining, this is the kind of exciting thing you get to do when you're a member, you get to vote on the audit report. So it's definitely worth $20. Okay, so if you remember, please vote all in favor. Okay. Anyone vote? I don't even know. I can't see what's going on online. All opposed? Mr. Harris, are you able to see if anyone's opposed to our motion on this one?
Second.
We're gonna nail the technology.
Yeah, this
by the May.
technology, like, I see what's going on. There's like 3 screens here.
Okay.
All right, let's see, chat.
Does anyone opposed to our?
No.
Okay, then we approve the audit report. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so then. Do you wanna? The meeting minutes from September?
Yeah, if I can figure, okay, let me see what's going on.
I know, we're rocking and
Yeah, we're
rolling.
rocking and
tonight.
rolling. Yeah.
So again, theoretically, we can pull them up on the screen.
If I can figure out how to do it. Okay,
Oh, well,
That
that's the treasurer's
that's the
report.
treasurer's
so
report, okay.
that we already voted on.
Yeah, we voted on that one. We close that one out.
Okay, let's get the meeting minutes. Got all my papers mixed together.
Right there.
There you go.
There we go. All right, here we go.
All right, and they're up on the screen. I don't know if you want to say anything about them.
I'll scroll through them.
Yeah, I mean, they were accurate.
Have
We
a
read
quick
them.
second to review them, if there were any errors, of course, or inaccuracies. Please let me know.
And the good thing about recording the meeting is we're able to go back and
Yeah,
check
I feel
things.
my
so.
accuracy has increased a lot.
I'll give everyone a minute and then we'll vote to approve the meeting minutes from the September meeting.
Okay. Oh, yeah, last meeting was long. Yes, I
It
remember
was
this.
long, it was
Yeah.
forever. So we're doing a quick one. Okay, so does anyone want to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from September? Seconded by anyone? All right, so again, we have to say all in favor.
All in favor?
Yes, all in favor, yes.
Favor online too, you can vote in.
All right,
1,
is
2,
anyone
3.
opposed?
Oh, nobody opposed.
All right, then they're approved.
Yay.
And the other thing we did, sorry, back to the president's report for a minute. Pam and I are now on the account. Well, I'm in the process of getting on the account. Pam is on the account. And so we're doing that transition and getting Letitia and Kathy off of the account.
Ah, gotcha.
We transitioned there.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all on the formal agenda. I don't know if anyone has, oh, Thank you, Pam. Okay, Pam's gotten forth stuff. That's what's the balance of the meeting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily the spiritware chair, but I have some stuff on spiritware.
Thank you. I've been modeling. People have been saying they like.
Very good.
they like it.
I'm sure most of you know most of our spiritware is on Squad Locker. There's links on that through our website and also through PT Board. That's doing really well. As of, I guess it was last week, we had 84 orders since summertime, so that looks like that's moving along. We've had a lot of requests for other things, little things, magnets, lanyards, things that used to be available when you come to fundraisers at the school. So those kind of requests are coming back in for more physical stuff. So we're looking at a couple different vendors now to get some of those things online. We did have a stash of them, but apparently in the renovation move, we have not been able to find those. Yeah, so we're going back and gonna do that. So hopefully maybe within the next month, we should have those things available. And when we do, we think we might link them through either PT Board or something or our website. So that's coming down the road. So you guys will be seeing stuff like that. We'll certainly put that in the weekly PTA weekly, so you guys will know when that's coming. So that's what I have on the spiritware. Probably the next big thing is the fall grants, PTA grants, the teachers and staff. We just need to nail down the November PTA meeting. I realize that we don't have one currently on the schedule because it should have been on the 2nd of November, which is a student holiday. So we're looking at probably either, I guess, the 4th or the next week for the PTA meeting. Once I have that narrowed down, that'll kind of determine the schedule for the grants. So I'm gonna hopefully get that to Susie in the next day or two so she can submit that to the teachers. Hopefully we'll have that the application submitted by the end of this month. Hopefully get the grant news out. We'll get it to a vote at the next PTA meeting. And then hopefully by the middle of next month, those will be awarded.
Fantastic.
So we'll get the ball rolling. That was the two big things I had. And then I had one other question just as a follow-up for you, Mr. Harris. I had in my notes about Frost 5K, the fun run.
Yes.
It's usually November. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. We're not going to do it this year. Mrs. Reed that was here last time, she usually puts it together, and she's been communicating with a parent that was going to try to put it together, but I think it's too much. Yeah. So that's no go.
That used to be a fundraiser thing for spiritware, so that would be good to know if I was gonna have to start with that, but if not, that takes that off the table. And then the only other thing I had was you had mentioned at some point parent coffees. And you were considering doing that. I had some people actually ask me, send me a message about that. So I'm curious.
Yeah, I have to put that back on that fell off my radar. I got to put that back on. I'll work with Susie on scheduling those.
No worries.
Okay, thank you.
And then just to follow up with what Allison said, we still have a couple of committee chair openings. The website is, as of tomorrow, I've got one more change. If you're interested in helping out, please go take a look. We can always use another pair of hands. So feel free to reach out if anyone is interested in joining the club. Yeah, right. And I'm not sure that we're going to be able to do everything that we had been doing in the past, considering we're trying to get back up to speed. The ones I have available are book fair. If we're going to still do that, I'm not sure how that's going to work. I haven't spoken to any of the folks in the library about that. Clinic Health Parent Aid we used to have. Also, Food for Thought was a big program that we had for a while. We don't have any coordinator for that. So information about that one specifically is on our website if you're interested. We also had a position for a Frost Woodson liaison, if anybody's interested in coordinating between the two. I had something that was for outdoor spaces that I think we used to do prior to the renovation. Now is probably a bad time to figure that one out. So that one may fall off the list. Readathon, as you know, she just mentioned we have a new coordinator there. We also did skate night in the past. Not sure if we're gonna do that or not. A lot of these things happen if we have a chair. I can do it. If not, it kind of falls off. Again, she mentions the special education liaison. And then we also had a coordinator at one point that was just coordinating volunteers for efforts and things. So that's another one. So that's what we have right now.
And if you're like a seventh grade parent who thinks they want to be involved for next year, definitely reach out to the person who's currently doing the job. We're absolutely happy to talk to you about what it entails. Work with you because we're going to need people next year. The whole board is sort of graduating to Frost.
We're
And
going to
so
need people next
we
year.
want to leave the PTA in good hands, not that we're looking
Don't
at-
look at me.
We gave you a year off. So yeah, I was just really excited to get to know people and have as many people helping out as possible. I guess the one other event that I was curious about is the Frost Family Festival. Is that going to
Yes.
be, virtual or in person, or you haven't decided yet? It
Yeah,
depends
and-
on how things are going.
I think if, I'd like to have it in person, if we can do it
Okay.
and pull it together, that'd be really nice.
Because that's another place where like spirit wear.
Right, and that's what we always did, and we had a lot of physical gear there, so
Yeah.
that would be something that if you were thinking we're gonna do it in person.
Yeah,
that
I
would
say
be
let's plan
helpful
for
to
doing it in
know.
person.
Plenty
Yeah.
of time, to probably have to get stuff for that.
Okay, yep.
Okay. That's all I have.
Yeah, I think now that's everything. we've done. If there's anyone online that has any questions, please. Last time we had like a whole tech team here. to help.
Yeah, now it's just me, Mr. Harris.
Get your patience for the folks online.
I see Honey Set. Are you able to unmute?
Hi there. I just had
Hi.
a quick, hello. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person. I just had a quick question for the music program. We got a letter about the fall concert in October, and it said something about a music polo shirt. Are we going to be ordering that through the music program, or did we have to order that through the Spirit Wear?
I think it's gonna be through the music program.
Okay. So we'll just
Well,
wait till we hear from them.
I'll ask them about that and have them, I'll have them send the information out to families concerning ordering a polo shirt, but it should be through the music program.
Okay, thank you.
Um,
A lot of times that's on my school bus, and then
Yeah.
it's department. I'm not sure if it's there or not.
Okay,
Which triggers my question. Did the kids that ordered PE uniforms get them? My son seems to have no knowledge or recollection of anything about PE uniforms.
yeah, they should have. I've seen a lot of kids in PE uniform. Yes, they should have.
None of it's made at home.
Okay. Yeah, they should have by now.
Okay. Right, anything else?
No.
All right, well then I think we can be adjourned. We will be in touch with whatever date we decide for the November meeting.
Awesome. Yes, perfect. We'll
Thank
get
you
back with
all.
Awesome. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Sweet.
Oh, we need a
Oh.
motion to adjourn. Okay, somebody move to adjourn the meeting. All right, Pam, seconded. Do we have to vote on whether we adjourned or we done? Okay, all in favor? See somebody, I need a parliamentarian here. All right,
Yeah.
any opposed? All right, so I see you all dictatorial.
Done.
What do you think the president has all sorts of powers?
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye, Nick.